It's Women Are Good Business on Instagram and YouTube. And we are interviewing today the vegan patty lady, Tasha. Tell us about you and your business and how you got started.
Hey everyone, I'm Tasha, aka the Vegan Patty Lady. Thank you so much for having me, Sam. I started the Vegan Patty Lady about 3 years ago now. In August will be 3 years old, and I started it on the back of my own health issues. I am a vegan that went vegan for health. I had asthma, breathing difficulties, and transitioning to a dairy-free diet was absolutely life-changing for me. But what I found was that vegan options were really bland, really drab, not nutritional, very over processed, and I needed to change the game. So I was making the product for myself. I had no intentions of it being a retail product, but after putting it out there in my circles, I realized I was not the only one that was really fed up of deadpan vegan food. So that's how it ended up being a retail opportunity. It was on the shelf within 6 months of ideation. So it was a very, very quick process, and it has scaled massively quickly. So that's how we got started.
So you're going to have to tell me, this is an extra question that I wasn't going to ask you because you've just given me the thing. How did you get from idea to on the shop floor?
Yeah, it was
How did you do that in 6 months?
It was crazy. So basically, I was sending the product to customers through my local post office that is also a store. So they are very nosy, and they asked me, "What are you doing?" So I was like, "I'm sending patties to people that people, vegan." They're like, "Vegan? Get a box and we'll get it on our shelf." And so that was my push to find money, because I had no money. I've been bootstrapping. I found Simon Squibb, who I was just suddenly having this doorbell concept. I rang the doorbell, they DM'd me back, and we were launching within a month of me pitching at the doorbell, and he gave me 5K, got my boxes. There we go, listed in Nisa within, a month after that.
Wow, that's amazing. And what's the hardest bit about running a business?
Do you know, for me, the hardest bit is juggling it alongside full-time work, because I can't give my day job up until my business can sustain me. Otherwise, I'll kill the business, and I know that. So it is about doing it, after my day job. So it's a 14 to 15-hour day for me most days, and I love it because it is a passion project. It's not just I want to make money. It is really something I'm passionate about, because I know that I am not the only person that really needs this product. I've found another gluten-free community that is another SKU. They are desperate for healthy, tasty products that actually taste good. And so now I'm committed to it, but it is super hard doing those long hours. As I said, I've been doing it for 3 years now, and doing it without capital is tricky, shall we say.
So let's touch on that capital, because I've been following your story across Instagram, and I know you've just got into a new factory. You've been doing some fundraising, you've been doing some crowdfunding. Tell us about getting the capital.
Yeah, I mean, the crowdfunding was my first opportunity, because we have a really great social following. People love what we're doing, but I definitely knew that crowdfunding was not going to be enough to push us to get the capital that we need for the big players that we have ready to roll now. We've got a really strong pipeline of food service, and retail is doing really well. All of my listings at the minute in my independent retailers, they were restocked in June, at the beginning of June. All of them stock run out, so I'm now having to restock. It's not even a month over yet, so that's a really strong pipeline. But we've also got food service now. The volume from food service is definitely not going to be able to continue at the by hand mechanism that we've got in place at the minute. So we really knew that we're going to have to scale up to automation. We tried to get third party manufacturing, but because we haven't got volumes kind of embedded yet, they were like, the risk is too big. So I've said I'm going to have to make my own manufacturing production facility, and so that's what we're doing. We're building a factory on our own. That is going to take capital, but the good thing is we're not doing it blind. We've got a pipeline, and it's a strong pipeline, really named partners that have got huge volume. So we're ready to roll now, and we just need to get it built.
I love that. So for for the providers that you already work with, so
Yes.
you're in the Nisa shops. Come on, do me some name drops of some of the people you
Yeah.
started to work with.
So in the independent space, we're in Nisa, we're in Costcutter, we're in 3 Budgens now, and we are also in Ocado. So our first national retailer. That happened after 2 years. So that, again, people were saying, how did you get salsa and get into a national retailer within less than 2 years? It's just been mind-blowing. But they are reordering, as I said, just as with the independents, we stock Ocado, they sell out. So we know there's a demand for this product. We know people want it. The taste it wins people over just on taste. And so it's a premium price product at the moment. And I think that's largely because we've been making it by hand, so our overheads are high. But once we can get the manufacturing in, the capacity, the price will go down. It's going to get even bigger.
And so that kind of feels like the only thing holding you back from taking over the patty world is getting the investment and then getting the factory up and running.
That is literally it. So, the automation is going to times our output by 10, like instantaneously. So we know that capacity, I had somebody message me yesterday, how about 8,000 patties a month? I'm like, okay, yeah, gonna happen.
She's there at 3 o'clock in the morning and making them.
Exactly. So it's doable, but it just with just my sister-in-law in the kitchen at the moment and no machines, by hand is just not sustainable. So that is literally the only thing, and that's why we felt comfortable to raise. We've done over 100,000. We only put it out in June, the beginning of June. So to get over 100,000 in already, and those investors have come to me. I know people can see the promise. We will close our round out. We're SCIS backed. We're going to do it. So we're really excited.
Brilliant. And tell me, what are some of the highs? So obviously, the doing the doorbell thing with Simon and them DMing you must have been like, but kind of give me a couple of, I love watching when you're stood in front of a new store, but what are those, give me a couple of the really massive highs where you just I can't believe we've done this.
Yeah, I mean, our most recent high, which is just blowing my mind that we've done it so small, it feels like it's just me, is getting B Corp. So we've become B Corp certified.
Oh, amazing. Oh my God, that's not easy, is it?
That is not easy. It's taken 18 months, but that was huge. And, the companies that are B Corp, I just feel like to be up there alongside them, I'm so proud of us that we've been able to do it. Like I say us, it's like me and only very recently my sister-in-law. But it's just a big undertaking. That's a massive high. And I think the others have been winning competitions. We're multi-award winning. Our first competition, we won 20K. We've actually won and got by grants over £65,000. So to do that, every time I win a competition, I'm over the moon. So those have been my biggest highs, I think.
That's real validation, isn't it? That not only it's a great product, but other people know it's a great product as well. Yeah,
and that's really special. And to win our first food one, we just won our first Free From award. So that was just based on the food product itself. So that was really validating, for sure.
Brilliant. Amazing. So I'm sure in that 3-year journey, you've learned lots, right?
Yeah.
And give me a couple of things you kind of wish you'd known when you'd started, or that maybe you're quite glad you didn't know because you're not sure you'd have done it if you'd known some of it. So tell us, what are the things, if you reflect back on those 3 years, if you've got a founder listening now who's got a big idea and they're really early, what are the things that you're like, if I'd known this, it would have been easier?
Yeah, I think for me, the first thing that I wish I would have known is that there are communities out there to support you and help you. At first, I was trying to do everything on my own. Oh my goodness, I just wasted a lot of time trying to do things on my own. There's founder rooms, there's WhatsApp groups, there's so many places where other people are doing the exact same thing as you. You can just ask, you can just shoot these questions out, and you don't have to be guessing and just kind of putting your feelers out in a very, very big space that I didn't know very well at all. So I wish I'd have known about those communities, by women built, so many spaces, that I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm in them right now. And then the other things are about funding, how to get funding, all of that stuff. I've written an ebook, plug, apply anyway ebook, that basically tells you where to find funding, how to do a pitch, all of those things that you just need to know. There's free money out there, lots of it. And if I'd have had a playbook of how to do that, I would have got further faster, even though we've got quite far quite quickly. But that's something that I think I really wish I'd have known how to access easily. I didn't really know much about forecasting and all of that stuff. So again, if I'd have started from the beginning with that in mind, it would have been so much, more efficient. I think we've kind of scrappy founded our way through life. We got there in the end, but very scrappily. So yeah,
nothing wrong with scrappy. Nothing wrong with scrappy. And I think I'm going to come back to Buy Women Built in a minute, but I think that numbers thing is really important, right? People don't get into business for the numbers. It's something we talk about on the podcast and within the Women Are Good Business community, which is actually it's really important to know your numbers, especially,
Absolutely.
I mean, just to survive and how important cash is, but especially once you start looking for investors and being able to articulate your story. So that's quite a learn to go through, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing the flow of what you have now, but what you're actually going to need to sustain you over time is so important to kind of actually map that out. So that's why we really kind of are glad. I think I started learning that from my first cap table competition, the Forbes competition. That was a prerequisite, and I was like, "What do you mean? What's a first a forecast? What is that?" So that was a vertical learning curve. But I'm so glad it's just really helped us to really become a strong business in that respect.
Yeah, and I'm going to take us back to Buy Women Built because it's such an amazing organisation with such a brilliant mission. Can you tell everyone listening what Buy Women Built is and what it's done for you?
Yeah, it's a female-owned space that was started by the founder, Sahar, to help women get out there that are actually doing things, female founders that are doing really amazing things, but not getting the look in. I think in terms of the funding space, women are funded at a ridiculously small percentage in comparison to the male counterparts. But this organisation does all the shouting for you. So we get front line into Whole Foods, Ocado. We've got a whole aisle. Like there's promo to really just get people to see us. And you just have not got that power, that leverage without that space. So being a part of that community, other than, as I said, the gold nuggets of people that are all doing it like you, like big names. I saw Annabelle Carmel in there. I'm just like, these are like big people. They're all in this space and they want to talk to you. They want to help you. It's just amazing. So I've been so happy to be a part of that community. So anybody that's a female founder, you just need like beeline to that space. Amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. And to final question.
Yes.
You've on 3-year journey, growing, scaling, getting into those stores, getting your factory, getting it to a place where you can do more automation. What's your big scary ambition? Like, tell us.
Wow. Well, do you know what? I said it when I pitched to Simon. I want Vegan Patty Lady to be global. So that is scary and crazy, but I absolutely believe it. We have people DMing us from America all the time. Are you in America? Are you in America? We had somebody from Sweden, Germany. People are looking for this type of food. I know it will do well across the pond, but that is a massive ambition. I need a lot more structure to get to the part where I can go global. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring that food to the people.
Oh, I love it. So, anything else you want to share with those listeners? So most of our listeners are female founders, female investors, interested in this space and really interested in the amazing things that women do when they run businesses. So is there anything you would leave on the table for them?
Yeah, do you know what? I would say, I know with women sometimes we are a little bit shy, a little bit reticent, and we kind of very cautious. I think one thing I would love to leave with other female founders is to be bold, brave, and do it even if you don't think you can. Like go for it, because I literally have learned everything on the go. It's trial and error. Sometimes you get it wrong. You learn. There's no kind of shame in learning along the way. Like some things don't work, but if you're prepared to take the risk, go for it full force, you never know what you're going to achieve. And the only thing you can get out of it, if anything, if nothing at all, is a lesson. And so that's you've always won, even if you've just learnt a lesson. So go for it, build bold, build big, and let's do it for the ladies.
Perfect. Thank you, Tasha, the vegan patty lady, for
Thank
joining us
you.
at
Thank you for
Women Are
having
Good
me.
Business.